Hey there, what is going on, YouTubers? It all begins to make me, you know, it all begins to make me perceive that I still got my sorry ass highly and deeply stranded in the same in the same pool of mud and shite. Since I kind of I kind of foreseen this particular filming session. I kind of foreseen this particular filming session to take place, and still it doesn't actually fully 100% resemble my previous filming session in which I filmed myself with my iPad, not not ordering to set up the the relatively speaking adequate filming gear to film myself. Still, as you can see, I'm still trying to recover from my previous episode of severe depression outburst, and I sincerely beg your pardon if I have to schedule all other ongoing tasks that were previously scheduled to take place at another time. I have to reschedule it, if I beg your pardon, if I can still beg your pardon. And yes, things aren't going so well. It gets it gets compounded by the minute, by the second, as a matter of fact. But yeah, fortunately, I still have a roof over my head, still have my grandma at by my side. It's just it's getting harder and harder to make a living as a digital nomad. Still, I try my utmost best to maintain a fairly positive outlook, as always. As you guys can see, I'm filming this video nevertheless, despite all odds. Still, I can perceive that I can perceive that Satan is trying his utmost best to hinder my effort through this episode of severe depression. But I figured I should take as many advantages as my iPad and the currently smooth VPN connection that my iPad currently has. Unlike the other VPN I have been using on my other devices, which is called Speedify. It's still kind of drops and auto connects intermittently as we speak. Though it's still, on most occasions, does its job fairly adequately at circumventing the Great Firewall of China. But I just don't know how long it can last. Therefore, therefore putting a shield of a barrier of of making a postponed renewal of subscription. So in other words, I'm still still kind of you know still kind of still kind of hesitating if I should renew that subscription to that VPN called Speedify. But still, yeah, still have Surfshark relatively, up and running, relatively smoothly. So we'll see, but for better or worse, next year is gonna be. I expect next year, to yield much less income or earning to me. Probably also next year, 2023, will decide if I could still launch my next Exodus mission, or otherwise I would have to get forever stranded here in China until the darkness of of precautionary measures against COVID-19 shite fully engulfs me. I don't suppose it's gonna take a very long time. If my situation, if my financial situation still continues to fail to improve, that's not gonna end, very well. It's I don't, as I previously, stated, as I previously mentioned for countless times. There's no end, to this story of my life. There's no happy. I perceive no happy ending to the story of my life. Well, probably if you consider death, if you consider a physical death, no happy ending, then nobody's life has a happy ending at all. But it's just how things are on this shitty planet we call Earth. It's just how how Adam and Eve chose to to end their lives. But I don't suppose they intended to end their lives by eating the forbidden fruit, but it's just a plain act of stupidity. In particular, Eve. Well, I know no matter how many times I complain about the stupidity of Eve. it won't change things. It's just But on the other hand, I do see an increase of the number of subscribers to my channel on YouTube. Kind of re-energized me a little bit to make another video about my pathetic life. While still, nevertheless, I try to remain as grateful as I can be. In the meantime, trying to remain as productive as I can make myself. So, though this time, suicidal thoughts hits me not as hard as my previous episodes of severe depression outbursts. This time, more or less, I just, it makes me feel completely numb to everything, to every undertaking of mine currently ongoing, and I even feel that I have pretty much completely lost my ability to speak Japanese. All things considering how much time I have lost touch with conversing with real Japanese people, at least online. Not to mention conversing with real Japanese people in Japanese language, in the real part, in the tangible part of the matrix. Yeah, so it seems quite like days of doom, days of utter doom and gloom ahead. But I still hope for the best. In the meantime, try to prepare for the worst. Knowing that there aren't there aren't many things for me to do in order to get myself fully prepared for the worst. And that in turn had me has gotten me exhausted and worried the most, as far as I can reckon. Yeah, so it's quite shit, guys. I just don't know what else to do except wasting my time watching various types of videos on YouTube, and in the meantime trying to produce, trying to enhance, trying to fortify my presence on YouTube. Well, still at least excuse me, having an iPad kind of motivates me to produce YouTube videos amidst of severe depression outbursts, amidst of all the shite that's ongoing. But in any regard, I don't suppose I have much to say beyond what I just said in this particular filming session. Yeah, please do let me know what you guys think by writing down your comments below this video, and I will try to upload this video ASAP. Yeah, thank you very much for watching. God bless. Stay safe, stay tuned, and try to have faith no matter what. Take care, cheers, until next time. Au revoir.